Welcome back to my survival world. In this episode I will beautify this island by turning it into a Chinese garden and collect some of Minecraft's rarest mobs. Over the last 4 episodes I built this Chinese themed town. It looks pretty good, but this island here, that one doesn't look good. I mean, this area doesn't even have grass anymore because the sheep ate it. So I think I can connect it to the town here by turning it into a Chinese garden and decorating this lake. First, I did some research on Chinese gardens, and with research I mean that I read the Wikipedia article. According to the article, the central element of the garden should be a lake, which is great because I have one. That lake would then contain islands and bridges which would connect the various sections of the garden. So let's build this here. One special bridge is the Moon Bridge, which has this tall arch. That's lovely. So these gardens are usually divided into several sections with separate themes, and since this is a large project, I should divide my garden too. The first section will be a rock garden. As the name implies, there are lots of rocks. I use stone and andesite. But there are also plants and trees. And there's also this special rock called a gongxi. The central element of this garden is a small pavilion in which I will house the first rare mob. Do you know the slime? And they come in 3 sizes. There's a half block, a 1 block and a 2 block sized slime. And I'm going to collect them here. This takes ages. But there's something missing. The missing link between the 1 and 2 block tall slime. But in Minecraft 1.21, this missing link was added. In the trial chambers, the slime spawners can, for some reason, spawn a 1.5 block tall slime. So I name tagged this one and brought it back to the garden. And that is the first rare mob in my collection. The next area will be winter themed. And Chinese winter plants are the pine and bamboo because they remain green in winter, and the plum, which flowers in January or February. So I designed some custom trees and placed them on this island. The centerpiece is this small pavilion. In this winter-themed garden I will place a winter-themed rare mob, the white fox. This mob can be found in groves and snowy taigas. And use its lead to prevent it from running away. The next island I will make with a spring theme. The spring themed plant is the orchid, and coincidentally this plant is also in Minecraft. So I can collect them in the swamp and place them on this island together with a few more trees. I also have this pavilion, and as the rare mob, the special rabbit. This is just a rabbit named Toast that looks different. Okay. Next, I want to build a lotus pond. Lotus is associated with summer. And since my garden is surrounding this pond, I think this is the perfect space for that. So I place lily pads and some pink corals, and I think that's close enough. The next rare mob is so obscure that it's not even visible. If you are in an area long enough, the local difficulty rises. And that allows special mobs to spawn, like zombies with armor or skeletons with enchanted bows. But it also allows spiders with permanent potion effects, and among them is the invisible spider. For the spider I built an additional building here, because that area wasn't filled, and also I can't really place it in the water. Now let's get the spider. Okay, then the next one. Honestly, the spider is really hard to see, but who cares? The autumn themed plant is the chrysanthemum, which I can't build in Minecraft, so let's just continue. I have this hill, and I think it would be a great scenery if there was a winding path leading to a building on top. think the tree is blocking the view, so let's get rid of it. That's better. The rare mob for this area is so rare that it will be impossible to get in 1.21.4. A bogged holding a sword. Let's find ourselves some bogged and hope one of them will pick up the sword. Once that is done, I can lead it to the garden. One way Chinese gardens are divided in sections are these white walls. So let's build another garden. This one is divided into several areas with white walls. And it looks great. In this pond I want to place the rarest mob of them all, the blue axolotl. In the last episode I built this farm to get pufferfish, for the Persian brewer. But with some modifications I can turn it into a farm for tropical fish in a bucket. But for that I need a lot of iron to build hoppers and buckets. Luckily the iron farm inside the 150 block tall Gigatron statue was working non-stop and produced large amounts of iron. Let's craft the hoppers, craft the buckets, build a storage area and start collecting fish. I think that's enough to start breeding axolotls. Now back to fishing. Oh, that's the blue axolotl. Oh, let's see. We got 679 axolotls, so we got pretty lucky. Let's place it in the pond. With that I have collected the blue axolotl, which is Minecraft's rarest mob. Or is it? So the blue axolotl has a chance of 1 in 1200 to spawn. And I need 2 fish per breeding attempt, which means you would need on average 2400 tropical fish. But there's a mob that might be rarer. In theory, tropical fish are meant to spawn with only 15 colors. But in version 1.19, they started to appear in all 16, including black, which is a bug according to Mojang. When a tropical fish spawns, there is a 90% chance it is one of 22 common variants, and a 1 in 10 chance it's one randomly generated. When a random fish is generated, it has a 1 in 16 chance for the primary color to be black, and a 1 in 16 chance for the secondary color to be black. So the chance for a completely black fish to spawn is 1 in 2560, which makes this slightly rarer than the blue axolotl. When collecting the tropical fish, you can see the exact variant with the tooltips enabled. I was able to select all the monochromatic variants. And among them was a black fish, a mob rarer than the blue axolotl. Anyway, behind the statue is this dark area, which I turn into another garden with a small pond for the fish. And here swims the game's rarest mob. I also got 12 shulker boxes of pufferfish and 8 more monochrome fish. Technically these other monochrome fish are just as rare as the black fish, but I currently don't know what to do with them. So let's just finish the remaining areas of the garden. I built a stair and another pavilion here. Created another island with a tower and custom trees. As well as placing some trees and another pavilion on the northern end of the island. Got a comment on YouTube asking me to build the Chinese zodiac. I already built the dragon and the dog, but let's build the rest. You have the tiger, the rooster, the rabbit, the pig, the goat, the snake, the ape, the horse, the rat and the oxen. Lastly, I want to make some changes to connect the garden to the rest of the Chinese themed area, like decorating the floor of the lake. I also noticed that in the Chinese themed town there's this empty area here, so let's use this area for an aquarium for the other rare fish. That turned out great. The last thing to do is getting rid of all the chests and shulker boxes. And sorting in all the items. And with that, the Chinese area is finished. I'm really proud of that area, especially the fact that most of these buildings actually contain something. I mean, in the Italian area, a lot of the buildings are just like this. I'll probably take a break before I make another episode. Till then, have a beautiful time and goodbye.